Well, viewers, welcome back to the 2016 Golden Shears here on a Friday cabaret night at the Golden Shears War Memorial Hall here in Masterton. And our special guest in the studio this evening is Mr. Doug Laing. Mr. Doug Laing is the Publicity Officer for Shearing Sports New Zealand. And there's a couple of things we just want to ask Doug at this stage, but we're going to hand it across to Doug, and he's a stats man. And Doug, we've just seen the top 30. You've talked a little bit about just off air on the way you see it, but there's a lot of Wairarapa boys that are right amongst it, isn't there?
Exactly, there's a gravitation of shearers to Wairarapa this season, so 2 or 3 that have actually moved into the area and living here regularly. So at the moment we will obviously see David Burke, should be in that top 12, but there's other guys like Adam Broche, he shot pretty well, and I'd expect him to be in that 12 in a few moments when it's announced. Wairarapa Abraham probably just a bit off the pace. Casey Bailey's done a lot of shearing around here in Wairarapa, comes from Riverton down in the South Island. That was a remarkably good shear, but he was a very good senior shearer a couple of years ago and looked at that time like the sort of guy that would make the progress quickly into the open ranks. Apart from those, we're probably looking, Casey will be, the longer shot to be into that top 12. The rest of those places I expect to be pretty much as expected.
The Golden Shears' current champion is a Scotsman, Gavin Mudge, and boy did he shear well tonight, didn't he?
Exactly, Gavin's extremely focused. I suspect myself that tomorrow night he's absolutely determined to come away with 2 titles tomorrow night. The Golden Shears Open Final, perhaps particularly the PGG Wrightson National Circuit. That'll absolutely establish him as a sort of a number 1 around these parts. Whether there's any doubt, it's just simply because he's not officially a Kiwi, I don't know. It may not be so politically correct.
He'll never be a Kiwi. He's got a kilt in his cupboard.
Exactly, and I know how much Gavin's out to really prove everything to everybody. Pretty tough nut to crack in Roland Smith, who's only been beaten once in 15 finals this year. He's actually had 30 finals dating back to his last Golden Shears Open win in 2014, and that time he's also won the World Championship, but he's had 30 finals in that time and won 27 of them.
Wow. Well, all those folks are 12,000 miles away in Scotland. He comes from a place called Aberdeen in Scotland. We welcome you viewers there. If you've still tuned into the Golden Shears here, the guy to beat is Roland Smith, isn't it? You've just touched on how many wins he's had. There's nobody that looks like they could challenge him, is there?
Indeed, he did right this afternoon, and he made his way into the top 30 in 18th place. He sort of commented briefly afterwards. Hopefully that was the bad shear out of the way. Certainly established tonight that he's quite superior, I'd imagine, when we see those final points pop up shortly. It's really it's pretty much a case of who's coming second, otherwise it doesn't often happen with a guy like Roldy, but it'll be Roldy that loses it rather than the others winning it.
It's Rollies to lose, is what you're saying. Well, viewers, thank you very much for taking part. We're going to go across now to some really good entertainment. Thank you very much. All good?
Eyes that look like heaven, lips like cherry wine. That girl can sure enough make my little light shine. I get a funny feeling up and down my spine.
And this is, you've had 3 in a row, and my understanding there's never been a 4th 1 in a row, so how are you feeling at this time?
Yeah, we've just finished the Open Woolhandling heats koro, as you know, and yeah, it's pretty good. The fleeces are really good. There's a lot of work in them, but hopefully we did enough.
Oh, just going back to those fleeces, Joel, they looked a real challenge. They just broke up, but I saw you there and you did them well. But your cleanup was exceptional.
Yeah, well, you had to sort of pull back something, so for me it was the board points, the board and the time. to try and get back, and hopefully my outside job does me good too. So.
Great. Well, Joel, hopefully we can bring you back into the studio. We don't have a lot of time because the World Wide Web, there's 60,000 viewers on the web last year. But another thing that's happened in the last year is we've lost a great friend of ours, Joanne Kumeroa, who had a lot of mentoring with you, and that's another thing that's gone by. So there's some aroha there for Joanne and her family.
Yeah, it was very sad to see the great master, world champion Joanne, an idol to a lot of us, pass away. But you know, she's still here with us with her woolhandling skills that she's passed down through you know, her time, and I think that's absolutely wonderful to see it still coming through in the majority of the woolhandlers.
Okay, Joel, thank you very much, and we hope to get you back into the studio at some time. Thank you very much, viewers.
Cheers.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, senior shearing heat.
He retired a true champion, but the year has been good for you. 15 finals and 14 wins, and that's a phenomenal achievement.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah.
Look, who is the guy that was that 15th? Who's the thorn in your side? Who was that person?
Oh no, there's no thorn, but no, it was Nathan Stratford down at Bowra.
Well done, Nathan.
Yeah, it's awesome. Shot real well, and it was actually a great event and awesome sheep, and much like we have here today, some beautiful big sheep and awesome.
Bag shot.
Bag shot, yeah.
We were at Pahiatua the other day. It's not been done.
Thank you, darling.
Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Lovely.
Way out west.
Thank you very much.
Way out west. Lovely toe tapping, knee slapping music. Well, Tuma, she's all go. A test match.
The Trans-Tasman.
A Trans-Tasman test match. The good old rivalry across the ditch.
Okay, let's get our teams up here, shall we? We'll
Let's do that.
get our teams up here and the managers. So if we could please have the Australian team up here.
And the New Zealand team up here, please. We'll yarn to the managers, and then we'll set them alight. What have they got to handle there, Tuma? I notice we've only got one table. Should we announce them up?
CP Wools are the sponsor of this event. These wool handlers will be handling 4 merinos and 4 long wool fleeces.
Oh, let's do. Hey, the manager is Sam Saunders for the New Zealand squad. We have Joel Henneray as one of the wool handlers. He is a past world champion. He is your current Golden Shears champion. Cherie Alabaster is the other wool handler. She also is a past world champion and your current North Island Shearer, wool handler of the year.
Okay, well, I'm here with Dave Grant, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Grant is the manager of the Aussie team. I'll just get Dave to
He retired a true champion, but the year...
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd just like to thank Masterton for the hospitality they've shown us over the last few days since we've been here. It's been very, very overwhelming. Everywhere we've gone, people have been fantastic, polite and very helpful. So thank you, Masterton. First of all, I've got mother of 2, Ange Wakely. She's represented Australia 3 times so far. Ange? We've got Rachel Hutchison all the way from Gilgandra, New South Wales, mother of 3, has been Australian champion 5 times, and this is her 5th time representing Australia as well. So, Rachel Hutchison, everybody, thank you.
Thanks very much there. I'll hand you over to Sam Saunders. Would you like to say a few words? Did you hear the TAB odds? No, I haven't actually. We'll keep it a secret. It's only $1.25.
I'd like to welcome the opposition here. It's always a tremendous event, the Woolhandling. We've got Cherie Alabaster here. She's been on the Trans-Tasman 3 times, and Joel Henry here, he's been in it 6 times, and they're both fierce competitors, and I'd like to wish everybody all the best.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the Aussie team, they are I think they cleaned up last year, the whole thing, and I've got great confidence in our Aussie crew. How are you feeling about your team over there?
Come on, Kiwis, let's go. Right, let's get the action going. We know the answer to that. Sorry? Anton?
Will we have everyone outstanding? Please,
Yes,
we're going
let's do
to
that.
play the Australian national anthem and the New Zealand national anthem. Australia first.
Australians love their us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and wealth of time, our wonders good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's thick and every state has birth Australia found. In joyful strains let us sing, our birth Australia found. Beneath our rainbow southern ground, we're toiled with hearts and hands to make this commonwealth of ours bring on our motherlands. For those who come across the sea with boundless flames to sail, with courage let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, our birth Australia fair.
Woo!
Tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Ko Phil Darkins toko ingoa, ko Ngāti Pākehā, a Te Atiawa, a Ngāti Awa, ngā iwi. Kia ora tātou, kia ora whānau. E ihoa atua o ngā iwi mātaura. A ta whakarongona me aroha noa. Kia hua ko te pai, kia tātou a ta whai. Mana ki tia mai ao te aroa. God of nations at thy feet, in the bonds of love we meet. hear our voices, we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star, from the shafts of strife and war, make her praises heard afar. God defend New Zealand.
Okay, Gerald will get off the stage. If we could have our shearers to the board.
Now we're ready.
4 merinos, 4
We're ready
crossbreds.
now. Good luck, Cherie. Good luck, Joel.
15-second countdown between breeds, ladies and gentlemen. There'll be a 15-second countdown in between breeds. Johnny McBride.
Test. Righto, looks like it's awesome here. The test. Tran Tasman, once again, hotly contested.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Everybody happy, the green light's on. All clear for the Woolhandling referee. Showing the wool handlers, of course, that their counter is on 0. Everybody's happy. Okay, timekeepers are good. Shearers, set, go.
Rightio, thanks very much, John. Right, the merinos arrive, ladies and gentlemen. You'll know that the Aussies down there in the bright gold, you know they handle these sorts of sheep, these sorts of fleeces all the time. Could be their advantages in these 4 here. 4 of these to be shorn, 2 each. And then we're into the full wool ewes. That's more our home turf is when we hit those full wool. However, I remind you, if you didn't hear me when you're having a bit of a natter, and that's all good, we have 2 past individual world champions on our team, ladies and gentlemen, Joel Henry and Cherie Alabaster. Onto the belly wool they go. They've got to sort that belly wool. It's crucial that all wool handling's done exactly right. But this fine wool has a tremendous value. This is the stuff of its really good micron. Goes across to France to be made into special suits and the likes. So it's even more important to get it dead right. And once it goes from here, the judges on the board, of course, Tuma, we have the judges out the back. How's the Aussies going down there before the throws?
Well, just watching the way these wool handlers are working away with these shearers, they are very much at home. The merinos down here, they are quite big animals, aren't they, Gerald? You know, these merinos, they call them red eyes, don't they? Why are they called red eyes?
Fill me in there, Tuma.
I think it's because when they get angry, the shearers get red eyes from crying.
Aha! Could be too. They also have all those wrinkles up their neck, those folds of skin, and they've got exceptionally soft skin when it comes to shearing. So hopefully the shearers will stay out of there. We don't want to have any skin in the wool either. As it's starting to peel off now, good teamwork, these 2. Having a bit of a chat down there, very precise in what they're going to do. Eventually soon after another minute or so, they're going to be going for the throws. Well, they can't put 2 fleeces on this table. The table's grated for a reason, folks. And you can't sit one on top of the other. And you'll see this fluffy stuff will fall through those grates there. And that's why it goes across the table. It's one of the reasons why it goes across the table, is to get that fluffy stuff out. And yes, you know it does. It covers tennis balls. That's all it's good for. So that's got to be cleared. The other fleece, of course, is going to have to be sat on the ground unless they stagger themselves beautifully. And then they'll have to re-lift that and onto the table. Now remember, when they do these throws, Tuma, they've got to try stop the bunching up of the fleece, don't they? And don't have too much hanging off the side of the table. So we want it landing dead square.
Anything the size of an A4 sheet of paper that is either hanging off the table or bunched on the table, these wool handlers will get penalised for. There's different parts of the fleece that is, you know, like you've got the wool around the heads, that is not to touch the main line. They call that contamination. And look at these merinos. They've got nearly a full wool fleece just on the socks alone. So there's a lot of work in these fleeces, a lot of work for the shearers, just as much for these wool handlers. And all the shearers are coming down the last side. Just take a look down the board, shearers. We want you guys to finish at the same time. There will be a 15-second countdown in between breeds.
Here we go, Tuma. This is like when we're weighing the bales and pressing. This is a vital and important part. We want to hear you put your hands together if these fleeces land well. And I can tell you they won't be easy throwing. They're very loose, they're very big and very heavy. But your reigning Golden Shears champion is going to unroll it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all right for a fleece like that. We've got a wee bit hanging over and a wee bit of bunching. But he goes to work. Cherie Alabaster, she's onto the board. Has to clean that board. The shearers are not to wait. They come piling out just like a real 8-hour, 9-hour shearing day. Look at the fineness. They're sneaking around here. How are your girls going, Tim? Are they skirting heavy or not? Because over here we're just taking the smallest little fraction bits off as possible.
No, these young Aussie wool handlers, they're working away. Teamwork is the name of the game. You know, there's no I in team. And that's how these wool handlers roll. They both need to get there. They've got a fleece on the floor, Gerald, and that fleece needs to be processed as well. You can't just chuck that in a fadge. That needs to be processed. So there's a lot of pressure on these wool handlers because look at the shearers. The next belly has come out. That's a typical wool shed situation. You know, these poor old wool handlers, the shearers make all the mess and these poor wool handlers have to deal with it. I think that's a bit hard.
Well, Joel Henry, look, it's got to be nice and compact. He's really knitted that together, rolled it up really tight like a puffer coat trying to get it into the wee carry bag. Now we've got some issues, but nothing to an experienced head like this. We've got to watch the crutch wheel up here, you New Zealand squad. 2 crutches arriving at a time. Joel takes action. He attacks the situation. We'll leave the fleece. We'll come back to that in a minute. They must not miss this crutch wool. In and around the fertiliser works, the tail area. It could have a wee bit of stain on it, a wee bit of manure, a wee bit of dag. It's shorter stuff. It must come out. They'll get docked heavily for that. Here we go. Now we have to triple handle this fleece. He handled it from there to there, or Cherie did. He half picked it up. What's he going to do, ladies and gentlemen? He gives it some air, bit of bunching at the top, but for a merino fleece, it's all good. Your table down there, Toomer, that's fleece 2 as well.
Yes, we got the second fleece down here. The Australian wool handlers are working away nicely. You'll see one wool handler, they'll be at the board, and what they're doing is they'll be getting all that shorter cheek wool and stuff from around the head. That goes into one of these